Because at the end of the day, you are who you hang around with. And I hope this episode makes you stop and take some inventory on the people in your life. Now, I'm not saying just get rid of everybody, but at some point, you're going to have to reorder your priorities and put God above everything. Welcome to the New Path, New You podcast. My name is Ron Cool, and today I'm coming to you on a Thursday night. Now, normally I do a podcast that's going to be out in a couple hours, but it's been a crazy couple weeks. I'm really excited because tomorrow we have our large, courageous men's event. Matt Forte, NFL running back, will be there. He's going to be speaking for a while. I have the pleasure and honor of interviewing him for a little while, so I'm excited about that. But I'm more excited about 150 plus guys are going to be there chasing God together. And that's why I named this podcast Iron Sharpens Iron. And over the last 4 years, I've really tried to surround myself with guys that are just chasing God relentlessly. They're getting rid of things in their life that is not God honoring, and they are in the Word. They're living the Word. They're preaching the Word. They're changing. And I'm so excited that not only I get to be a part of it, but I'm being sharpened by that. Because at the end of the day, you are who you hang around with. And I hope this episode makes you stop and take some inventory on the people in your life. Now, I'm not saying just get rid of everybody, but at some point, you're going to have to reorder your priorities and put God above everything. And when you do that, you may have some friendships that may have to change. You may have some actions that are going to have to change. Over the last couple months, I've been talking about my small group, and there's men in that small group that are chasing God relentlessly. And I know tomorrow night is going to be an amazing event, but we're not doing it for an event. We're doing it to create a space for God to show up. And I can't wait to talk about everything that I talk about with Matt. It's going to be really exciting. Got some questions lined up for it. It's going to be really good. He's an amazing man of the faith. Obviously an amazing running back. I haven't decided if I'm going to tell him that I traded him in fantasy football and he ended up beating me in the Super Bowl, so I lost. So I don't know. It was good for him, but it was bad for me. But he was my guy first. But I probably won't share that. But if you've listened to the show before and you're coming to the event, let's just keep that our own little secret. Okay? You can tell me, but let's not tell Matt because I think that'll be funny. But I want to talk about the power of community and fellowship. If you are not in an area where you're connecting with other men around the Word, I'm gonna implore you to just seek it out. Like I said, I've said it a couple times. Connect with me on Instagram. I'd be happy to do a Bible study with you. But I think it's something that's just completely life-changing. It's culture-changing. When I took over the men's ministry, I started doing fellowship before events where the volunteers can come together and we can eat and we can fellowship together and we can fill up each other before we go pour out. Because this world, there's so many relationships. And this is why I want you to take inventory of your relationships, because there's people that deserve your time and there's people that need your time. And there's people that deserve to be around you and there's people that don't. And what's crazy is sometimes we gravitate to the people that don't deserve to be around us. So iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. It's all about the impact of surrounding ourselves with like-minded individuals who challenge, encourage, and inspires us. Proverbs 27:17, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another. The verse highlights the importance of meaningful connections and supportive relationships in our lives. So think about those people in your life. And who have you helped shape into the person that they are? But who are the people that have helped shape you, good or bad, into who you are today? Maybe it's a mentor that believed in you when nobody else did, or maybe you didn't, or a friend who walked alongside you during a difficult season. These connections are like iron sharpening iron, refining and strengthening us as we journey through life. But let's be real. Building and maintaining these kind of relationships is not easy. It takes time, effort, and vulnerability. And we have to be willing to open up. We have to be willing to listen. And we have to be there for each other, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it's not the popular thing to do. And you have to be a true friend. You have to extend friendship, not expecting something in return. You have to do nice things, not expecting something in return. So, how do we cultivate this kind of community in our own lives? It starts with being intentional. We have to be intentional about seeking out the relationships that align with our values and goals. And we have to be willing to invest in those relationships even when it's challenging. So, my small group is an hour and 10 minutes away. It's every week. It's on a day that I don't need to go there to the church. I work at the church on Mondays and Wednesdays. My small group's on Tuesday night. And I picked Tuesday night because that's what worked well for the men. And I could have done a Zoom, but there's something about being in person that actually helps sharpen and holds the commitment to show up for each other. And they know that I care for them because I'm driving an hour and 10 minutes one way to be there for them, for these guys. One practical way to foster community is through small groups, right? And that's what I was just talking about. Do Bible studies with men. And if you're like me, when I first started doing a small group, it was a little uncomfortable. I didn't know what I was doing. I was asked to lead a small group years ago, and I was like, I've never been in a small group. I guess I could lead one. And it was a little scary. And I've shared my experience on previous episodes, so I won't go too deep into it, but I just asked God. I just asked God for guidance, and he was faithful, and he guided me. And I was vulnerable. I was real. I asked questions. I listened. I talked. And it created an amazing core group of guys. And we're continuously getting new guys into this group. It's not like we're shutting the doors. We had a new guy this week. We had a new guy the previous week. And we had a new guy 3 weeks ago. And they're still coming. So it's really cool that God is continuously putting guys into this group, and they're just instantly being vulnerable. I've never seen anything like it. And I was talking to my co-lead the other day with this group. He's like, hey, I've done groups like this for a while, and I've never seen guys just be willing to open up and be vulnerable this quick, let alone some of these guys' first day. They are just opening up. But the cool thing about small groups and Bible studies, it just provides a safe place to connect with others, where men can share struggles and victories and just grow together in faith. But we don't have to stop there. Your community and your church is vital. And I'm going to implore you not to be a different person in your workplace either, or at home. For the longest time, there was multiple Rons. There was work Ron, home Ron, friend Ron. Now there's just me. And God has told me that is good enough. And sometimes it's not comfortable. And sometimes I wonder if it is. But I'm a child of God, and He says it is. And I just have to trust Him that it is, and He will put the right people in my life. It's just a quick episode because gotta catch some rest before tomorrow. But I wanted to come in to your day and just share my gratitude. Thank you so much for just trusting in me and connecting with me and listening to my funny little podcast. I appreciate it. And I can't wait to tell you all about the event tomorrow. And if you're in the area, hit me up on Instagram. If you're in Colorado, hit me up on Instagram. And I'd love to invite you, save you a seat. And I can't wait to see what God has for you on your new path for a new you. My name is Ron Cool. Talk to you next week.